This is Carl at National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk you through this 2021 Catalina Trailblazer model 29 THS hauler. Alright, so obviously I'm on the door side of the trailer. So you've got regular scissor type stabilizers. You can use a 3/4 inch crank or a 3/4 inch socket on a drill to operate them. Okay, so you have a power awning. This here is we get a little bit ahead of ourselves, but because it's in front of us, we'll talk about it. This is the black tank flush. The valves are on the other side of the trailer, but keep in mind that after you dump your black tank, if you choose to, you can hook the hose at the dump station right onto here. It's like it says in this sticker, make sure that the valve is open on the black tank, and then you can turn it on the water and it'll actually spray out the inside of the black tank and clean off the sensors really well, so it's a good thing to do. Alright, we'll talk more about that on the other side. Now this slide room, let me make sure I look in here myself just to make sure. Yes, this slide room on this trailer can be cranked manually if you need to. If there's some kind of a issue with it, you can still get it in and out. So keep in mind there's a shaft in there with that you would put a crank on, and you can actually crank that in and out manually if you're in an emergency. So that's a good thing. Also, this is your range hood vent. Keep in mind that when you vent, you want to push up on these tabs here, one on each side, so the baffle will flap freely. But you only do that when you're venting. If not, you keep it shut, like when you're traveling or storing, that sort of thing. Okay, you got outside speakers. You got power and antenna out right here if you wanted to set a TV set out here. These stairs fold right into the trailer. They're very stable. Now you can adjust the length of the legs for the terrain just by pulling this pin right here and sliding it up and down and to the length that you need them. Okay, you can do those independently of each other. Your storage. This is a crank here. This is the 3/4 inch crank, of course, and that's your dump hose. Okay, you have a lock, a cable lock, so you can tie up your bikes or your four-wheelers or whatever you have if you need to, which is a good thing. Also, if this tongue jack, the power tongue jack, ever fails, you can remove this cap, and you can also crank it up and down. So keep that in mind, that you can always get out of trouble, get yourself unhitched or hitched if you need to. Okay. So you've got two LP tanks with automatic changeover regulator. You've got a deep cycle marine battery, and this is the kill switch right here. Okay. The kill switch is good because when you put it in storage, you can just disconnect the battery, and it's not going to be, the carbon monoxide LP gas detector won't be drawing it down, that sort of thing. So it's a good thing. Alrighty. So the most common way to get water to the trailer is using the city water connection. You just put the hose on there, turn it on, and the trailer's all pressurized. Now, if you're camping at a campground that does not have plumbing on the campsites, then you can pre-fill your fresh water tank right here and use the onboard pump to pump water. So you can always, if you're out in the middle of nowhere, if you pre-fill the tank, you can still use all the plumbing in the trailer. This is just an outside shower. This is your water heater from the outside. Alright, so this is right now this trailer is winterized, and the water heater is in bypass. Okay, so you can see that the plug is out right now, so it's empty, and there's your anode rod / drain plug. Okay, let me see here. So right here, you can see this switch right here, this one right there. that operates the electric heating element that's behind this cover here. So keep in mind that you have a switch here. You have to turn it on in order to run this on electric. The most important thing I can tell you is that you never run the water heater without water in it. If you turn on the electricity, it'll burn out the heating element in less than a minute. And if you use gas, it can damage the tank. So always make sure there's water. The way you're going to do that, obviously, you put the plug back in, and you're going to change the valves in the back of the water heater to camping mode, of course, after you flush the antifreeze out. And then all you're going to do is, if you got city water hooked up, you'll just turn on a hot water faucet, and it'll start to fill the tank. You'll get nothing but air coming out of the faucet. Then it'll be some water spitting out, and eventually you get solid stream of water. That's when you know the tank's filled. Then you can turn on the power to it. Okay. Fresh water drain for your freshwater tank. Slide room. Okay, so this is your power cord here. It's 50 amp and 30 feet long. We give you the reducers to reduce it down as far as you need to go. Right here is your black tank valve, which is toilet water and waste, and your gray, which is sink and shower water. So you're gonna dump the black first, because it's the dirtiest of the water, and then you'll dump the gray second, and that'll help flush out the hose and stuff a little bit. It's dirty water, but not as bad as the black. But then you leave this valve open, and remember on the other side of the trailer I showed you that there was a flush. You hook the hose up there, turn it on, and it'll spray the inside of your tank with fresh water, clean out the sensors, and also flush all the gunk out of there. Okay. This is just cable and satellite through to the entertainment area. Vents, of course. Now your door works like any other door. You're just we'll go over it with you when you pick it up, so you can actually use it. But basically, you're just gonna pull this out and then up and over like that, and then it'll drop down. Like I said, we'll go over that with you. So, okay, and this housing here tells us that this is pre-wired for a backup camera. So if you want to get a backup camera for it, we sell them here, or you can get them elsewhere. If you get it, it takes a Furrion camera that fits in that housing. And if you get the correct camera, it just held in with 4 screws and a plug. And you plug it in and put 4 screws in, and you're all set, ready to go. So it's pretty simple. Also, while we're looking up, like with all trailers, you have to inspect the roof every 90 days or so, 3 times a season, whatever. You look for cracking or separation. And then you look for damage on the roof, maybe some road debris flipped up there and damaged it, or a low branch, which is pretty common. So you just take a look over the whole roof, and if you see cracking or separation, for example, get it taken care of immediately. That's why you're inspecting it, so you can stay ahead of things. So I can't stress enough that if you don't, you should be doing it every 90 days or so, okay? You may know all this. Okay, so the slide room is in. First I'll look out the window to make sure nobody parked a golf cart or anything out there. Okay, so here's our control here. So slide out. This will ratchet when it gets all the way out, or when it comes all the way in, for that matter. That just keeps it from overextending or over retracting. As soon as you hear the noise, you just take your finger off the button. See, it'll drop right into place. Right like that. There's the ratcheting. Okay, so we'll start here at the control panel. We were just here, so okay. These are just lights here. I showed you how to light or turn on the water heater, the electricity on it. Put that switch in the lower left-hand corner. Well, you light it on gas right here. So you know the water pump I told you about is right here. Use that water pump for pumping water out of the fresh water tank or winterizing the trailer. You have a power awning. Always make sure you don't leave the awning out unattended, because wind can come up really quickly and damage it in just an instant. So make sure if you're not going to be at the campsite, you roll it back in. So your battery is charged, but always check it when you're not plugged in because it'll always show charged if you're plugged in. Freshwater tank is empty, black, gray one. Okay, it graduates up in 1/3 increments. Once you get past 2/3, you've got to start thinking about dumping the gray and the black tank. Okay. Microwave works like any other microwave. This is your range hood that I told you about. Remember what I said about the baffle on the outside. If you're going to run the fan, you want to vent it. Get a nice light. Okay. And Furrion range. So this one, I don't know if he's got the gas turned on. Let me see here. Yes, he does. So you can see I just turned the sparker clockwise to light it. And obviously you do that for all the burners. Now the oven, basically at the bottom all the way to the back is a pilot light. Maybe you could see it sparking if I do that. Sometimes you can. So what you're going to do with this is you're going to go to the oven knob, turn it to pilot, and then depress it. Keeping it depressed, you'll spark this by turning it clockwise until the pilot light lights down here. And after it lights, you still hold this in for another 10 seconds or so until it heats up, then you can let go of it. You go to operating temperature, and when you shut it off, obviously the flame goes out, but so does the pilot light. So you got to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Okay, so this device down here is the power converter. It converts 110 AC to 12 volt DC. So let me get it open here for you. Okay, so you got regular household style circuit breakers like you'd see at home. They're 110 AC and they're labeled. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC over on this side. You got 12 volt fuses, and if they blow, they'll actually light up so you can see it through this tinted plastic down here. And they're all labeled like I said. So you have that, and also this is a battery tender, so as long as you're plugged in, it's going to charge your battery up front. So it'll keep it charged all the time if you're plugged in. So your tow vehicle's alternator will keep it charged when you're pulling it, and then of course the power converter will keep it charged if you're plugged in. Okay. So this is just a regular 12 volt compressor style refrigerator and freezer. Not pretty big actually. Excuse me again. Alright, so this TV actually has the radio built into it. So you can actually listen to the radio on the TV. It's pretty self-explanatory. You have a remote with it, of course, and you probably have to, as you travel, you have to run the channel scan if you're setting up at a different area usually and rescan it. So, okay. Let me see what else we have here. All right, so this table here actually goes in the back between the two couches in the garage. So that's the table for the back. Well, I'm talking very slowly today. I'm sorry about that. Apparently I'm not running on full power today yet. So, okay. So this is the emergency window. To escape, you would push this all the way through, and then you grab a hold of the red tab and pull the screen out, and you can exit that way in an emergency. Get yourself out of trouble. Okay. Also, on this side over here, I'll walk over there so you can see better. This is where you would hook another TV up here. I'm sure there's a backer plate here, although the sticker's gone, but I can feel it. Anyway, so you would hang a TV here, and you got antenna and power, of course. These LEDs, any of them that don't go on with the switch, usually will have like a button in the middle, so you just turn them on that way. Okay. So let's see, where's the thermostat at? Right here. So it has an analog thermostat. It's pretty basic. Try to always keep the fan on auto. heat is all the way to the right. Obviously, cool is all the way to the left, and then one click towards the right from cool is fan. The fan is just the air conditioner running without the compressor. It just circulates air. So, okay, and so it's just an analog thermostat. And like I stated, try to use, especially with the air conditioner, to use it on auto. Wow. Okay, sorry. Excuse me. All right. So another thing, you can pull up the poles out of this table, obviously, and you can drop it down onto the cleats and use the back cushions to fill it in and make that into a bed. All right. Okay. I think we got everything. There should be a. Oh, it's down here. This is the carbon monoxide and LP gas detector here. So it should always be green like it is. I'll set it off so we can do a self-test here. You can go through another test coming up. It does 2 tests, one for each gas. There you go. Also, if it beeps real slowly, it's telling you that it's the battery's low. So keep that in mind also. That goes off. You're going to get everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas off at the front and figure out what's going on. Never ignore it. Okay. So the sink and shower work like any other sink and shower. The thing about the toilet is, with RV toilets, there's a flush pedal here. Right, when you hook up to water, obviously when you step on this, it's going to come swirling out. So the bottom line is, the black tank is directly down there, and you can't use this dry. So when you get to the campsite, you park, you hook up your water, and you hook up your power. Then you'll come in here and you'll step on this pedal and let about a gallon or so of water flow in there. It doesn't have to be exact. Just, use common sense and put some water in there. You can't use it dry, or the smell will be really memorable anyway. So you want to always have water in it when you first start using it. Also, this GFCI, there's probably 2 of them in this trailer. Even the plug on the outside is wired through it. Every plug in the trailer is wired through a GFCI. So obviously you would reset it right there. And always use the fan with the shower to pull the humidity out, so you don't get conditions that could be, you could get mold or mildew. Okay. All right, the garage. So when you pick up, we'll fold these down for you, but these just fold down, and you can put the both of them together and make 2 beds out of it, or you can fold it to the configuration where it's a there are 2 couches, and you put that table that's laying on the bed up there right in the middle. So there's a lot you can do, or have it out of the way if you're hauling your motorbike or your 4-wheeler or whatever you have. All right, and these are the fences that go around the deck. Okay. Also, you can hang another TV here if you choose to. There's another coax and power. And there's no backing plate stickers here, but I can feel it right there. So there are backing plates in the wall. Okay. Of course, you got plenty of tie downs. A lot of them. A lot of them don't have enough, but this one's got plenty, so it's cool. Okay. All right. So let me just walk through and see if I forgot anything here. I think I've covered everything. Yes. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. And remember what I told you about inspecting the seals on the trailer. That's very important. And as I stated earlier, the water heater right now is bypassed, and there is antifreeze in the system. Thank you very much.